Hello, I'm Naomi, and I'm here to have a brief conversation with three of our circuit stewards, with Christine and Kieran and Pete. Welcome, everybody. Perhaps I could start by asking, what is a circuit steward? Pete, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I think that perhaps what may be best known about being a circuit steward is that we are responsible for the appointment of ministers and deacons. And is great because it gets us involved in so many ways in working with the churches involved and the people there. Um, Perhaps what's less well known is the pastoral support that we provide to the presbyters and to the deacons when we have them. And so, for example, I have two ministers that I look after, and to get to know them in a way you never would if they were your minister. We deliberately aren't allocated our own ministers, and that's really good to help them in various stages. Um, the third thing is that we are part of the leadership team. I mean, we are blessed with several ministers and lay workers, etc. And the circuit stewards are an integral part of that team. And that means we get a chance to influence the direction and the development of the circuit. So anybody who perhaps thinks that the circuit should be going in a slightly different way or developing in a certain way, this is a brilliant way to get involved, to make your voice known at a circuit level. I think the last thing I want to pick up on is the way we interact with the churches, that the presbyters that we're linked to. When we can, perhaps go to their circuit church council or similar, and that's great to discover what's going on in other churches. Because very often we're very insular. I know what happens at Alveston where I worship, but what happens at the north and the east and the south of the circuit, it's through being a circuit steward. It brings a richness. We understand just how diverse the circuit is, and we can input into those churches as well as learn from them and perhaps use some of the ideas in our own churches. But for me, that sums up being a circuit steward.
That's great, thank you. Would anyone like to add anything to that description that Pete's given us?
It just so happens that we are all local preachers. You don't have to be a local preacher to be a circuit steward, but I find that I get to know congregations in a different way by attending their church councils from the way I get to know them from leading their worship. Now, hopefully that makes me a better leader of worship and preacher because I've got to know the congregations. And hopefully, because I already know them from a worshipping point of view, I can relate to them when I attend their church councils. So I think the two things do feed off one another. But I would stress, you do not have to be a local preacher to be a circuit steward.
Great, thank you. Could I ask, how is it that you came to be a circuit steward? And maybe I could ask Kieran, I think you're our newest circuit steward.
Yes, I was a very active member, of Tottenham Methodist Church. I was a steward and then senior steward and then room booking secretary. But last August, the Tottenham Church closed down, and after that, I was feeling really, really low. And also I was feeling lost, because I thought, there is no role anywhere for me. Although we joined Lowell Methodist Church, but we are still settling there. And I thought, there is no role for me, or what else I can do now. Anyway, my daughter kept asking me that, what you want to do now? Mom, think about, what you want to do next. And I kept thinking and praying as well, to God to show me the way. And when I received an email from Janet George, that would you like to be a circus steward, I saw the lights, and I thought, yes, this is what I want to do now. I want to expand my knowledge and I want to go out of my circuit now, out of my patch, and then go out, and meet people and take up this role, so I'm quite enthusiastic about it now, since I have started joining, meeting other stewards, and they are really, really welcoming, and they are really, really supporting, so I really feel, that, I have got a role, here.
That's lovely to
So
see how
that made
God
me, to
guided
become
you.
a circuit steward now.
Thank you, thank you. So the reason we're making this little video is because we do need to have some new circuit stewards. And I was just thinking, I expect people watching this will be thinking, well, I just haven't got the time. How would you respond to that?
We are very happy to welcome people who have limited time, because it's quite possible to job share. You don't have to do all the things all the time. You can come to some of the meetings, attend some of the church councils, and use the skills that you've got to share. We've not any of us got all the skills that are necessary, but you've got skills that you've used in your church, and you could use those to enhance the circuit.
Thank you. So if someone were to be interested in finding out more, what should they do? Christine or Pete or anyone? Should they contact you or their minister?
Yeah, Naomi, I think that the best thing to do is for anybody who's interested, even vaguely interested, to have a word with either Christine, Kieran, myself, or the other circuit stewards. We've got Stephen Holiday, and we've got
Mike Culshaw. Mike
Culshaw. Yeah, how can I forget Mike Culshaw? So, and if you don't know any of us, you might want to simply talk to your minister or one of the other lay workers, or perhaps somebody like Naomi, is to get the conversation started, and then we'll be pleased to pick it up from there.
Super.
What Karen did was to come along to one of our meetings to find out what we were like.
Great, so you can find out without committing and writing on the dotted line straight away. Yes. Perfect. Well, I think we'll leave it there, but thank you. And I'd like to say on behalf of the circuit, thank you to the three of you and to your two colleagues for all that you do, which is so important for our circuit and the churches and the projects and the people that make it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Naomi.